He already waiting.
All right. Well, let's get it done then. All right, Jason, I'm gonna leave you up here with me. And I heard that you already got this party started recording. I think this is gonna be a good one. It is designed, this Zoom here is designed to let you guys understand your numbers. Okay. We know that taxes is your largest expense. So it's important for us to know our numbers. Now, for the guests that are on the line, if you can do me a favor, put a one in the chat if you are a guest, so we can identify who you are. Put a one in the chat. Let us know where you're from, and then I'm gonna do this presentation. I'm gonna open it up for questions, so I can make sure that you guys get a good understanding of what we're gonna go over today. Now, for those of you that are associates, this Zoom for you to let you know the importance of why you join MWR Financial and why you need to stick and stay. Okay. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead on and bring up my presentation. We're gonna get this party started. Just to introduce myself, my name is Charles Ivory. I am a regional director with MWR Financial. I'm also a part of the Extra Digit movement, and I am one of the founders of our legacy movement. Okay, so this has been a great experience for me. It has definitely changed my life and the lives of others, and I hope that you get some value out of what we're going to talk about here today. So, with that being said, let me get started and get this party going. Okay, so uh again, this is MWR. We are dedicated to changing lives, and that's exactly what we do. Now, we're here for me to show you the money. This is why we're here, for me to show you the money. Now, I want you to understand taxes. All right. Taxes is a tricky subject. And what I have here is the 2023 tax bracket. Okay. Now, when most people think about taxes, we're thinking about which tax bracket we're in. Now, we use what we call a floating tax bracket. So if you're in the 12% tax bracket, all your money is not being taxed at 12%. If you're in the 22% tax bracket, is not your total income tax at 22%. There are steps to it. And this is what this slide is going to indicate, the different steps. So what I did was I broke them down into three groups. We got single, we got head of household, and we got married joint. We're going to be working with married joint for our demonstration. But for you to understand the floating tax bracket, as you can see, I'm going to use single filer right now. The first $11,000 as a single filer is only taxed at 10%. Now, up to $44,000 would be taxed at 12%. So it gradually goes up, okay, depending on how much money you make. Now, that's very important for you to understand that this is a floating tax bracket, because the rest of my slides, I'm just going to put in one tax bracket for demonstration purposes, but you got to understand that we have a floating tax bracket. So I'm going to do a demonstration just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So right now I'm dealing with a couple, a married filing joint tax return. Now, for demonstration purpose, this couple earns $335,000. Okay, $334,008 to be exact. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all why I came up with that number. Okay, it's kind of personal. All right, but so I want to show you how this thing works so you can understand your numbers. Now, the purpose of understanding your numbers is so you will know how much you owe the IRS in January. You don't have to get surprised in December or the following year when you start filing your tax return. You should know your numbers at the beginning of the year if you know how much money you make in a full calendar year. So here's how this works. Married filing joint. The first $22,000 with married filing joint is taxed at 10%. So if they tax $22,000 at 10%, you're going to owe $2,200 on that money. Now, the difference is going to go all the way up to 89. We got to get to 334,000 by the end of this. So up to 89,000, which is a $67,449 difference. So the difference on that money is going to be taxed at 12%. That means on that amount of money, you're going to owe $8,094. And then we're going to go up to 190,000. The difference is 101,299. So on that money, you're going to be taxed at 22%, which means you're going to owe $22,286 on that portion of money. Now we get to take it all the way out to the 334,000, which is going to be taxed at, that's the difference of 143,257, which is going to be taxed at $34,000. So when you add all this up, the amount you're going to owe on taxes is going to be $66,962 on that amount of money. Now, that's very important for you guys to understand the floating tax bracket. I'm going to stop right here if anybody has any questions on that, because if you don't understand that portion of it, you're going to be lost for the rest of the presentation. So if you got a question on a floating tax bracket and how do we get to that amount of money, just raise your virtual hand or put it in the chat. Jason, monitor the chat for me, and we will stop and go over that again. So I don't see any hands up. I don't think I see anything in the chat. So we're going to move on, okay? Now, again, don't be shy. If you don't understand this portion of it, you're going to be lost for the rest of the presentation. So again, this couple this couple earns $334,000 and they're going to pay $66,962 in taxes. So here's what you need to know and understand. There's a big difference in tax deduction versus tax credit. So what's the difference? Tax deduction reduces your taxable income. That's very important. So the amount of money that you make, the more deductions that you take, it starts to reduce that taxable income. Now, credit is reduced from the amount of taxes that is due. So whatever taxes you owe, whatever credits you have, is going to reduce that amount. Okay? So think of it like this. Deductions comes off of the top, credit comes off of the bottom. Okay? Now, some of you guys are going to be eligible for deductions and credit. Now, that's a blessing because you get to shrink your taxable liability and then take credits off of the amount of money that's due. Some people are going to be in that situation. So here's the example of deduction versus credit. I'm going to give both scenarios a $2,000 deduction and a $2,000 credit. Now, here's where I had to explain the floating tax bracket, because I'm not able to demonstrate floating tax bracket in this demonstration, but just understand that this is a floating tax bracket. So at 58,000, it falls into 22%, but we do understand that the first $22,000 of this 58 was taxed at 10%. Okay, that's why I say we had to understand this in the beginning so you don't get lost at this part of the demonstration. So this is just for demonstration purposes only. So right now that don't matter. So this person had earned $58,000. If they took a $2,000 deduction, that means their taxable income had been reduced by $2,000. So now the government is going to tax them off of $56,000 instead of $58,000. So they're going to fall in the 22% tax bracket. And if they pay 22% on that amount of money, they're going to owe the government $12,320. So what does that mean? That means that's a $444 savings. Okay, $440 in savings. Now, let's do it to the other side. If you had credit, your taxable income is going to stay at 58, 22%, but you're going to owe the government $12,760. Now, we take the $2,000 off the bottom of that. That means that reduces the amount of taxes owed to $10,760. Okay, so that is a $2,000 credit that you're going to get. All right, tax savings. So that's a big difference in this scenario right here, where deductions and credit. So in this scenario right here, if you had a $2,000 credit versus a $2,000 deduction, then the credit side wins. Okay, but now let's look at what we're dealing with now as business owners. So now we got a business. Now, because we have a business, there are way more deductions that we can take. There are only so many credits that's going to be out there available to you. So if you have a business, and this is why this is important for you to have the home-based business, because you're eligible for over 475 different tax deductions. So if you took a $20,000 deduction in a calendar year off of $58,000, then the government only going to tax you on $38,000. Now, this is big, because at $38,000, your tax bracket changes. So instead of being at 22, now, so we're paying less taxes on less amount of money. So now you owe the government $4,560. Now that's a huge difference, because that's an $8,200 savings off of a $20,000 deduction. That's very important. Now, when it comes to credit, there's not so many credits out there that you can take. Low income credit, maybe a child tax credit. You may get a school credit, but there's only a handful, maybe 6 to 9 different credits. So if you had a $2,000 credit, look at what the scenario is now. Your taxable income is 58. You're still going to stay in the 22% tax bracket. You owe the government $12,760. We take the $2,000 from the bottom. Now you owe $10,760, but you're only going to get a $2,000 savings. Okay. Now, in this scenario, the deduction wins. So the one that has the business win in this scenario. And this is why it's so important for you to be able to understand your numbers, because if you understand the money game, your goal is to deduct most of this 58,000. You want to get this down as low as you possibly can. Okay. That's the reason why you want to do this in the beginning, so you'll know your numbers and you can be able to take deductions throughout the whole year. Now, here's something else you need to understand when it comes to taxes. All right. Your total income is minus the credits and the deductions. See, When you take away the credit and the deduction, that becomes your taxable income, which is commonly known as adjustable gross income, or AGI. You may have heard that when you do your taxes. Now, all tax brackets are based on the AGI, adjusted gross income, not the total income. That's very important, because your total income, once you take the credit and you take the deductions, and there's even standard deductions that's subtracted from that as well, that lets the government knows how much money we can tax you off of. So when you say taxable income of $100,000, that usually means after all the deductions and not before. Your taxable bill is always based off of your taxable income. Now, here's another good thing, and where we can, how you say, save or protect our money. If an individual gross salary was $50,000 and $15,000 was put away into a 401k retirement. Now, anytime you put money away in a 401k or anything like that, it's tax deferred. So we're not going to pay taxes on that money. That shift a federal tax rate of 22% down to 12% because of the amount of money that they're shifting over. So if the 401 contribution was a pre-tax, not a Roth, it would lower the taxable income. So that's why a lot of people, at the end of the tax year, they will add to their retirement plan, because that's another way of kind of lowering their taxable income by pushing it to the side. A lot of times business owners would invest their profits, so they can lower their taxable income and not pay as much money on the total amount of money that they earn. So this is good. But now MWR has some things a lot better than 401ks, and I'm gonna share those things with you here at the end that are way better than 401ks and IRAs and stuff like that. Okay, so now here's another good thing about taxes. You got to understand the tax rate on capital gain for most assets are held more than 1 year is 0 to 15% or 20%. Capital gain taxes on most assets held for less than 1 year compounds to ordinary income tax rate. So what I'm saying is, if you earn $100,000 in wage income, you're taxed at 30%. So you're going to pay $30,000. Now, capital gain taxes, you're going to pay way less. So with capital gains taxes, you're taxed at 15%. So any type of investment income. So on that same $100,000, you're going to pay $15,000 on that $100,000. That's the reason why someone like Warren Buffett came on 2020 a few years ago, quite some time. You could probably look it up on Google, Warren Buffett interview with 2020, when he shared to the world as a billionaire, a multi-billionaire at that he paid less taxes than his secretary. There was nobody in the office that paid less than 30%. This guy was taxed less than 15%, a billionaire. All right. But this is why, because Warren Buffett makes most of his money in capital gains. So his money makes money, and money that's making money is taxed less than labor making money. So this is one of the reasons why you want to be a business owner, because now you're making investment type income. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so there are different types of taxes you want to fall in. There's taxable, tax deferred, tax free, and tax exempt. So most of us fall in the taxable category. So every time you go and do something, your money is taxed. Now there's tax deferred, which means that you don't pay the taxes on the money when you make it. You'll pay the taxes on it later when you take it out. Now there are some products like IRAs and 401ks that if you wait to a certain age, you can take it out without paying any taxes. Okay, you'll be tax exempt then. But if you take it out early, you're going to pay the taxes on it when it comes out. Now, here's what we always ask people. Do you think the taxes is going to be less later on than it is now? So that's why a lot of people get jammed up when they tap into their 401k and they get penalized by paying taxes on that money. And they pay a heavy tax penalty on it when they take it out, when they probably should have been pre-taxed and just pay the taxes before they put it in. And then as their money grow in capital gains, since it was pre-tax, they wouldn't have never paid any taxes on the growth of the money. All right. Then you got tax-free, which means free. You're not taxed on the money. And tax exempt is pretty much the same thing, you know, and that's normally referred to federal, state, and local levels, you know, being tax-free. So I'm gonna kind of show you, this is one of my personal tax returns way back in 2014. So remember, I was talking about adjusted gross income. Now, adjusted gross income, remember, that's after the credits and deductions. So this $97,000 that you're looking at the top, that's after the standard deduction, that's after any credits that was given, maybe child tax credit, and that's after any deductions that I may have taken. So the income would be $97,000, but my federal taxable income, because that's the adjusted gross, the taxable income what the government had to tax me off of was $25,000. So I lowered the adjusted gross income to $25,000, which gave me a $15,000 refund. But look at the tax rate. I was taxed at 3.77%. That's huge. So you got to understand, of course, I made more money than $97,000 because I took the deductions, took to the credits, and this is my adjusted gross afterwards. But I took that down to 25, and the government had to tax me off of 25. And as Jason said the other night, this is not a tax refund, because refund means you getting your money back again. I had eliminated myself from paying taxes that whole year. I took all of my money. So this became a tax rebate. Okay, that's a different story. Okay, here's another example of this with the state. Okay, now the state is a little bit different. Okay, so they took me down adjusted gross to 99, my taxable income to 30, but the refund was 5,000. So in this particular year, that was a $20,000 rebate from federal and state. 15 from federal, 5 from state. That was a $20,000 refund. Now, why is that important? Because now I can take that money and shift it to investment to where that money can grow for me. Now, I did this for 2 years, right? And I think in 2 years, it was like $37,000. So now can you imagine taking $37,000 and invest in that and let it compound? Okay, that's why this is so huge. And that's one of the reasons why having this business is so important, because you're able to do things like that. All right. So now I'm going to let Jason, if Jason ready to take over the screen, because Jason has a better example when he used his own tax return. He's going to show you the Schedule C in the first slide. So Jason, you can take over at this point and explain what happened to you recently in a earlier tax season, so they can kind of see the form and understand how it's written on the form. Okay.
All right.
And you may have to be able to blow it up. If you can't, let me know if you can blow it up to where they can see the numbers. If not,
Yeah.
I do believe I have it myself.
All right. Tell me
Can you
how
blow that?
big you
There
can
you
see
go.
that.
Yeah, just keep blowing it up.
So what you're seeing right here, and I'm trying to blow it up. Let me know how big is that. Is that good?
Now, can you stretch? There you go. All right.
So I want to make sure y'all can see it, but I also want to give y'all what. All right. So there you go. All right. So this is what you're looking at. And Charles, man, yeah, you broke this down very well. I hope
Yeah,
anybody had it. Say again.
that's a good size. But
Okay.
before you do that, let's explain the Schedule C, right? Because I always tell people there are two types of tax laws. There are tax laws for the haves, and there's tax laws for the have-nots. Okay, go back to your Schedule C for me, just so I can explain that for me. Then you can go back. So the haves and the have-nots is not the rich and the poor. The haves and the have-nots are the ones that are able to file this form when they file their taxes, which is the Schedule C form, which is the profit and loss statement. So even though you may not be good at the business, you can still benefit by taking the losses. So Jason, you want to go over this form or you want to go over the first one first? I'll let
Yeah,
you
I want to go over
handle
the
both.
first one first. I mean, we
Okay, go
got to
ahead.
get familiar with the 1040 first.
All right.
So when we're filing taxes, and I think that's a good size for everybody, right?
Yeah, I think we can see that.
Okay, when filing taxes, you got to understand that the first numbers that we're looking at is how much you had in income. So last year on paper, I had $72,400 in income, and you can see that right here, 72,400. That's block 1A. So if you really want to do this and look at yourself and go through the rest of this conversation, this class with your own documents, I would highly encourage you to do that, or at least think about this and write this stuff down as we go. So I had $72,400 last year in income. The Schedule C you just saw shows that I was able to deduct $36,554. That's where this number comes from. So it says other income from Schedule 1, line 10. We're talking about the Schedule C, the profit and loss statement. Okay. And then what this is showing you is that I went from $72,000, had $36,000 in deduction on block 8, and then ended up my taxable income all the way down to $21,949. Now, Charles was telling everybody earlier that your taxable income, your adjusted gross income, is your tax income minus those credits and deductions. So again, credits and deductions, $36,000 in deductions, and I had some credits as well, which is where this 13,911 comes from. That's the standard deduction. So hold on a second, Charles. I'm gonna get back to my Schedule C. And so let's talk about where that $36,000 came from. Is this a good size?
Blow it up.
I think there was
Can
a
you do it a
delay.
little bit?
It's a good
There you
size.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I consider there was a good delay. So this is 36,000 in deductions. All right. Now I'm just talking about deductions. Charles talked about credits. For those that don't know, I have 6 kids, so I also get credits as well. But let's just talk about the deductions, because although credits is dollar for dollar, deductions gives you a percentage, and there's more of them for more Americans to actually take advantage of on an individual basis. Understand that there's more deductions that you can take advantage of than there are credits. So you definitely want to tap into the deductions. But if you could do both, hey, why not? So here you got 32,000 on block 8, advertising at the top. I did a $342 in advertising. What does that look like? That looks like anything from the app that I have that I pay monthly for, anything like, flyers, business cards. I know many people use that. Office expenses when you go straight from the across, $542. You're talking anything from paper clips, desk supplies, anything like that. But really what I want to get to is these car and truck expenses. How many of y'all got cars and trucks out there? How many of y'all know that you can actually write off the vehicle expenses? I'm talking about registration. I'm talking about parking toll tickets and things of that nature. I'm talking oil. All those different types of expenses is what I wrote off this past year. And then when you go down even further, I'm gonna go straight down to block 13. Everybody tracking me? Thumbs up. $9,569. What is that? Hey, so tax publication 179, and then the other publications covering the vehicle expense of use in the business allow you to take the depreciation of your vehicle. Now, see, a lot of people talk about the interest rates and things of that nature, but here's the one of the biggest tax advantages most people will never tap into because they don't become a business owner, Charles, and that's the depreciation of the vehicle. Think about it. As soon as you take your vehicle off the lot, your vehicle is already depreciated, has it not?
Yes,
Think about
sir.
it. Your vehicle was $20,000. You take it off the lot, it's already at 18, and it's constantly depreciating. But that goes for your furniture too. So that other business property that I got to the right, you're talking about anything associated with my house. I'm talking about electricity. I'm talking about the insurance on that house. A square footage of my mortgage, that percentage is taken out and added to as a deduction. So that's what that other business property is on the 20B. You see that? So how many of y'all paying a lot of money in mortgage, paying a lot of money in electricity, paying a lot of money in water? Well, let's take a portion of that up to 20% and let's multiply that by a month. Let's multiply that by 12. And that's how much money I was able to get back just from having a home office. I can go on and on and on, but my favorite, my favorite is block number 24B. Block number 24B says I have meals that I was able to write off. See, in the past 2 years, the IRS has said business owners can deduct up to 100% of the meals they eat outside of the home. So I eat most of my meals outside the home and I tie it to a business. Why? Because the IRS says I can do it. Why? Because the IRS is going to give me my money back. And so with that, I was able to deduct over $7,136 this year in meals, this past year, and the year before I did 6,000. And then there go the extra utilities I was talking about. So look, you got mortgage at the top and you got utilities at the bottom. That totaled over $43,000 expenses. But when you subtract that from my profits, which is at the top, profit and loss, that's $36,000 in deductions that I had this year that I can take away, that takes off the top of my taxable income, which is what we was talking about on the last page, the $36,000 coming out of the 72. So this is the name of the game when you own the IRS. It's more than likely because you have no deductions, you have no credits, you're not playing the game with the right rules. And this is what we're talking about, Charles. What else would you like me to share, sir?
Outstanding. So now go back to your Schedule C because I want to bring this up, and this is very important for our associates. If you look at the top part of the Schedule C up here, this $7,485 that Jason earned, right? Now you got to think about this. When most people think about a business, that's not a lot of money. That's not a lot of profit, right? That's actually a ED3. I mean ED2, 600 a month, 7,200 a year, right? Look like 7,200 a year with a couple of extra bonuses, right? That's not a lot, but that's a lot when it comes to the amount of money that he was able to deduct off of stuff that he was going to deduct anyway. See, this is the thing that everybody got to understand. All these numbers that you see in this box under expenses are things Jason was doing anyway. He wasn't doing anything special. You know, he had to drive his car. Wherever he was going there anyway, right? He had to buy another vehicle. He was going to buy that vehicle anyway. He was eating out anyway. He had a mortgage anyway or paying rent anyway. That Section 179 is equipment. So that's your iPhone, that's your laptop, that's your printers, that can be office furniture, that can be flat screen TV, sound bars, you know, all of this stuff that you purchase is depreciating over time. These are things that you're going to have anyway. You know, the only thing that he probably wasn't going to do was probably the advertising and office expenses. You know, that's probably the only additional thing that he put on there that if he didn't have a business, he wouldn't have had. But your advertising is not what you think. Now, if you got a Zoom account or a StreamYard account, that's advertising. If you buy apparel, you know, I got a shirt on right now, rich is an option, broke is a choice. That's advertising, you know. So you got to understand how are you coming up with these deductions. Now, everybody should be able to do at least $20,000 in deductions with their eyes closed. With their eyes closed, you should be able to do at a minimum of $20,000. This is very important, Jason, because I want you to know is that you don't have to be good in the business. You just need to have it. Because this profit and loss didn't say that you had to make a profit. Jason actually took a loss. He took a $36,000 loss. Okay. So go ahead, Jason. Are you finished with this? You going back to the other one or?
Yes, sir. I'm done.
Okay. Outstanding. Outstanding. So stop sharing your screen so we can pull back up and I can pull my slides back up. So let's pause here for the cause and get some questions answered, because this is important, people. You got to understand this game, you know, and the reason why I want to explain is because if you got a guest on here, your guests need this. Your guests need to be able to take ordinary expenses that they're going to spend anyway, push it through a business and take deductions and get cash out on the other end. All right. We're not talking about being good at the business. We're not talking about recruiting a lot of people, chasing people, convincing people. We're just talking about simply having it, just possessing the business. Now, here's what the IRS says about a business. The rules is there's 3 things that must happen. You must work the business on a consistent basis. That means 3 to 4 hours a week. That's not a lot of time, maybe 30 minutes a day, right? You must have some type of good product or service to offer somebody. And the main thing, the number one thing that's going to separate you from having a business and a hobby, you must attempt to make a profit. Now, how do we attempt to make a profit? Well, everybody on this Zoom, put your gallery, your view in gallery mode and look at all these people that's on this Zoom right now. We got 20 people, and take a screenshot right now. In gallery mode, a screenshot right now. We are doing a presentation for our guests in the hopes that they may partner with us, which is going to produce a profit. Now, if none of our guests can feel what we're talking about right now, it doesn't even matter. We're not emotionally tied to anybody's decisions. So if you have a guest on this Zoom and they don't see the value in what we're saying and won't partner with you, it do not matter, because you took a screenshot. You can take all those deductions that Jason was just talking about, because now you can show that I made an attempt to make a profit. That's all we need to have. That's all that needs to happen. That's it. Now, for those of us that are in the business, we do a Monday night call that normally lasts about an hour. We do a Wednesday night profit party that normally lasts about an hour. And then after the profit party, we do newcomers training that normally lasts about an hour. And then on Thursday, we have our financial edge. That's 4 hours, people, of you attempting to better yourself knowledge-wise in order to make a profit. In your business, you have a product called the Hurler app. Inside of the Hurler app, there is a time schedule in your Hurler app. All you got to do now is input Monday night call, Wednesday night training, Tuesday night Zoom, right? And you in compliance with the IRS. Just that by itself, and you ain't talked to one person. But you was attempting to make a profit by bettering your education in your field of business. That's all we need. So let me go over it again if you're taking notes. You must work the business on a consistent basis, 3 to 4 hours a week. If you're on this Zoom, we're working. Okay, so this time counts. You must have good products and service. We have a membership with a bunch of experts. We don't even do the work. They do the work, but that's our service. And we're on a Zoom to attempt to make a profit by educating new people that may want to partner with us. And with that, you can take your taxable income like Jason did from $72,000 down to $20,000. That's over $50,000 of money that he worked for that the government didn't get a chance to tax. Now, hello, somebody. If you don't see the value in that, we need to do something. We need to do something different. Okay. So you got to understand, that. Now, if you are an associate in this business, you got to understand this so you can stick and stay, because it's not about you chasing people. It's about you staying so you can leverage the government. You can leverage the government. Now, I'm going to get back.
Hey, Mr. Jarvis, we got one question real quick.
Okay.
Johnny got his hand up.
Johnny got his hands up. Okay, Johnny. Unmute yourself.
All right. Hey, Mr. Ivory. Thank you.
Hey, what you got, Johnny?
So my bigger question is, when it comes for tax seasons, I always stress out a little bit about who's doing my taxes. And I'm always unsure if they get all of these benefits, if they understand what we're doing here with a home-based business and if the tax deductions are going to be, properly placed and stuff. So I always stress out and worry about that, who's doing my taxes, if they truly understand, all the different benefits of doing a home-based business, like what you're talking about tonight. So what are your thoughts about that?
Johnny, I'm glad you asked that question, because that's very important. Who's doing your taxes. Now with MWR, we have enrolled agents with the IRS that does our taxes. And ladies and gentlemen, they will do it for free. They will do it for free. Now, if you on this Zoom, we're part of Team Legacy. We actually have our own enrolled agent with the IRS that's on our team that does our taxes. And Johnny, this young lady, I don't know if Clovell Olivan is on the line. If he is, Jason, bring him up. Clovell used our enrolled agent and was able to write off $111,000 last year. $111,000 in tax deductions. Okay. I don't know what his taxable income is, but $111,000 on any amount of money is a huge deduction. I know he's driving around in a nice red Camaro, bright red Camaro. I know he just bought his wife another car. I can show you guys my tax return, my Schedule C. I bought a car 3 years in a row, a 18, a 19, and a 20. 3 years in a row, just to lower my taxable income, because the government said I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my last vehicle was a $63,000 truck. That's one deduction, Johnny. That was one deduction that I was able to take $63,000, the whole price of the vehicle, even though I haven't even paid for the vehicle. That was the price on the tag. So the government says, hey, the year that you put your vehicle in business and you buy it that year, you can write off the whole vehicle. And I'm gonna show you that later on in black and white. But that's a good question, Johnny. You can't take this to H&R Block, Jackson Hewitt, or a military tax person. You can't take it to to Ray Ray and them because they did your taxes before, you know, love your mom and your cousin, but they're not enrolled agents with the IRS. The tax codes and stuff are constantly changing. You want somebody that understand this. Now, here's what I want to tell everybody. If you get a refund every year, whoever's doing your taxes, you should fire them, because they should already tell you that you're overpaying taxes and you need to do something different to, instead of owing paying taxes to the government, overpaying, for you to get your money up front so you can use that money to invest. Because right now, with you overpaying the government, you got lost opportunity costs when it comes to investing. So if you're getting refunds and your tax professional or tax preparer, I will call them, didn't tell you about you getting a home-based business or doing something different with your money, you need to fire them, okay? Because you're not getting the correct service. And you'll be surprised what your CPAs are not telling you. I got a book about that, what your CPA is not telling you.
So I got a second part of that question too. Is like, so I did something similar to what you're saying with your truck. I bought my first company vehicle for my actual brick and mortar business, and I didn't do it in MWR's name. And so I'm trying to do the same thing with that side. And I do want to buy a vehicle, a personal vehicle, because my personal vehicle died. So I had to get one in my business name. And I want to get a personal vehicle and do that in my home-based business name for MWR. That's something I want to do. And I'm wondering, when it comes to the taxes, I know MWR is going to handle that tax part for my home-based business, but can they also handle my taxes if I'm satisfied with how they do it? Can they handle my brick and mortar business as well?
Yes, they can. 4 feet. 4 feet. A small fee.
Somebody.
I mean, I think if you have a business, if you do business taxes, man, you're gonna pay $700 to $800. I think they'll do it for like $250 or something like that. It's a heavy discount, okay, for that. But Johnny, you ain't gotta put that vehicle in your business name. You can actually do it in your personal name, because MWR is what we call a sole proprietorship entity. You don't have to have an LLC. You ain't got to be a C Corp, S Corp operation. Actually, as a home-based business, you have a lot of advantages, like hiring your kids as a sole proprietor. And I'll show you some
appreciate that.
Some information on that, because we're gonna get to the IRS. I'm gonna take y'all to the IRS and let y'all see the goodies that they have for you. Okay, so let me get back to the slide. Just want to make sure everybody got an understanding. If any other questions out there, want to make sure that we address those questions. Okay, this is another one of my tax returns. Made a little bit more money. The taxable income was reduced from 120 to 56. Got a $13,000 refund for federal. Got a $4,000 refund for state. That was $17,000. Okay. All right. Now that we talked about knowing your numbers, let's talk about just getting rid of taxes altogether. We ain't paying no taxes. All right. So Rockefeller said something that I thought was amazing when he said it. The key to success is to own nothing but control everything. I'm gonna say that again. The key to success is to own nothing but control everything. So Charles, how do we own nothing and control everything? Well, let's talk about trust my assets, right? Now we can put you in a serious tax situation to where you pay 0 to 5% in taxes. Now, this is what we call our legacy trust. That's what MWR call it. But English common law call it a complex trust. Write that down, complex trust. So if anybody out there is in the market for trust, we're not talking about living will trust. We're not talking about irrevocable trust. All right. And that's what most of your tax attorneys are gonna tell you, right? We're talking about a complex trust. Now, this is an agreement amongst 3 people to make this legally and binding. So what I'm going to do here is, Johnny, I'm gonna bring you back up because I'm gonna actually demonstrate this. And I see Linda Brown. Linda Brown, you want to participate? Just give me a nod, thumbs up in this exercise. There you go. Thank you, Ms. Linda. I'm gonna pull you up. Now, I want you guys to understand this. With a complex trust, we set up what we call a business trust, we set up a family trust, and then we set up a foundation trust. Okay. So it's 4 of us on the screen, and we're gonna act this out so people can understand what I'm saying. I'm gonna play the role of the business trust. Now, Cherie, I want you to play the role of the family trust. Wow. Since you're pairing together, y'all family, y'all are going to be the family trust. Now, Mr. Porter, I need you to be the foundation trust, okay? Ms. Linda Brown, yes. You're going to be the villain. You're going to be the villain. You the IRS. All right? You the villain. You the IRS. Okay. Let me explain everybody's job. My job as the business trust is to collect all the money that we earn. My job is to collect it and disperse it to the family. Now, Cherie, Taryn, I got the money. I want you to take it from me. So I got the money and I'm finna pass it to you. I'm passing it over to you. No, reach over and grab it. I'm over here. No, I'm over here. No, the other side. There you go. All right. All right. So now you got the money. Now, Cherie, Taryn, y'all the family trust. Y'all are the trustees. Y'all get to do whatever you want to do with the money. See, you in charge of the money, not the IRS. You are in charge of the money. So you do whatever you think you need to do with the money. If y'all want to take 3 vacations a year, go ahead on and take 3 vacations. If you need a new car, buy you a new car. You want to pay your kids, pay your kids. You need to eat out, eat out. You need to get your hair and nails done. You do whatever you want to do with the money because you are the trustees of the money. Y'all understand? Okay. Now, whatever money is left, I need you to get that to Johnny. Johnny, reach up there and grab that money from him. No, yeah, reach up there and grab it. Okay, they're going to give Johnny the money as the foundation. Now, Johnny is actually a nonprofit organization. Now, if you understand nonprofit, they don't pay taxes. They don't pay taxes. So whatever you give Johnny is his. But guess who controls it? Say me, the trustee. They control it because they the trustee. They gave it to Johnny, but they control it. Okay, y'all understand that? So my job now you got to understand. Cherie and Taryn are 3 in 1. They 3 people. They me, the business. They them, the family, and they also the foundation. So they all 3. Okay. So my job was to collect the money and disperse it because I don't want to pay taxes on it. Their job is to take the money, spend the money, do whatever they want to do with the money, and then whatever's left, they're going to give it to Johnny. Johnny going to hold on to it. Johnny's only job is to donate 5% to another charity.
Yep.
That's his only job. And if they go to church, that's a good charity, 10%, that's a good right? Charity.
It's gonna be
now. Yeah. Here is Linda Brown wanting some money. Mm-hmm. Now, Linda Brown, I need you to reach over there and try to get some money. Just reach over there and try to get. They on the other side. Money, they over there. All right. So now they ain't got nothing for your IRS. They ain't got nothing for you. Y'all gotta see the benefit and the beauty in that. Okay, we demonstrated, but you gotta see the beauty in that. So now that we demonstrated, let's take a look at it again to make sure that y'all truly understand it. We're gonna set you up a business trust, a family trust, and a foundation trust. The business acquires the revenue, disperses it to the family. The family pays the trustees and pay all expenses, whatever it is, whatever's left, the payments from the family trust is they stays right here in the foundation to build a legacy. It's a 501c3. Okay. Now, this is important that this is a 501c3. Why? Right. Because a 501c3 is a tax code. Okay. Yeah. It's a tax code. See, the IRS tries to fool everybody with a bunch of letters and numbers. You got W-2, you got W-4, you got W-9, you got 1099, you got 1099-R, you got a 1099-G, you got a 401k, you got an IRA, you got a 501c, you got a 403b. You know, you got a Schedule C, a Schedule A, a Schedule K. You got a 1040. You got a 1041, right? Most people don't know about the 1041, but if you get a trust, you get a 1041. See, your 1040 can be 15 pages long, but your 1041 is only 2 pages long, and that's where the big boys play, on the 2-page form, not the Schedule C and the 1040, okay? So that's, and all these tax codes, it's just the way that the government treats your money, okay? That's Section 179. It's the way the government is going to treat that portion of the money, okay? So all these letters and numbers that are out there, that's just to confuse you guys, okay? But it lets the IRS know what they're going to do and how they're going to treat your money. So that's why the foundation trust is very important, because it tells the government we tax exempt. So now the IRS gets nothing. Okay. So now I showed you guys how to take a business and lower your taxable deduction. But now MWR has the power to put you in position to where you pay 0 to 5% in taxes. All right. Now, if you didn't see the benefit in the other thing, you got to see it in this one. All right. So let me open it up again for any questions about the trust, because that's a game changer right there. That's some information that y'all probably didn't get, because there's 2 types of information: public information and private information. See, this is what the Rockefellers and the Fairchilds and Oprah Winfrey and all these big people that make billions of dollars. This is the information they get. All right. So this is the rule of the game. This is the money game. So any questions on the trust?
So when they say, when I say I ain't got it, I can actually be telling the truth. They ain't got it.
You ain't got it. Right. So Johnny, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about this. And I want everybody to understand this, or what I'm about to say. You guys should be able to live in $1 million home. You should be able to drive a 6-figure car and still be able to apply for food stamps.
That part. Come on.
I'm going to say it again.
Come on.
You should be able to live and buy a $1 million home, drive a 6-figure car, and still qualify on paper for food stamps.
Charles, can I add something to that? I really need to say this, man.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
From the moment I heard that statement said, this really hit home for me, because I have been working in healthcare for the last 24 years as a hospice chaplain. I have seen people have to literally get divorced, been married for years, have to get divorced just so they could qualify for Medicaid to be able to stay in a nursing home. I've seen them have to basically get rid of all their assets. And if they didn't get rid of it in a 5-year window prior to when they needed it, they're stuck, not even able to get health care, and their families are struggling to take care of them. And not everybody that's in a nursing home is there because their family don't want them. They're there because that's the best place for them to get the care they need. And so I'm telling you, man, this is such a game changer because your assets are protected in such a way that you don't even have to play that Medicare game. You have access to all of your things that you have worked a lifetime to acquire, which I always struggle with that because it never makes sense to me. If I worked so hard my entire life, I bought a camper, I bought a boat, I bought all these things, I bought property. And you mean to tell me all because I'm having a health challenge and everybody's going to get older now, all because I'm getting sick, I got to get rid of everything I worked my entire life for? And that's what you typically do on an average in this situation. And the trust really changes that all up for us. And this is what's got me super, super excited. I'm thinking from that dynamic, being a healthcare worker, having seen people have to do this, and even to the point of getting divorced. And I've seen it, and it has always broken my heart. And I'm just excited about this because I said, Lord, I don't want to have to do that. You know, when you see this happen to other people, you really begin to think of yourself. You begin to wonder if this is going to be my lot, if this is something I got to do. And it makes you wonder, what is it all about if all I'm going to have to do is give it all away? So this changes the game. And I'm serious. This is something I have been I've been wanting to comment on this from the moment I heard this, because this is a huge, huge deal. And even somebody who is a little bit older than me, I'm in my 50s, somebody who's older, who's getting ready to face this will bring such a relief to them. This is a great solution for you to take to somebody who may be thinking about this or even have that question, and you can actually do that while they still have their mindset and ability to make decisions. They can go ahead and get that done, notary, all that kind of stuff. You can take care of that and then go apply for your nursing home, whatever you need to do, healthcare, like you said, be able to afford Medicaid, be able to afford food stamps, and still have control of all your assets. This is huge.
Yes. And I'm glad you brought that up, Johnny, because that's very important. People got to understand the rules of the wealthy and the things that they do and the things that they put in place. See, here's some more education for you guys. Do you know that in the IRS tax code, they got a big manual, 5,800 pages thick. Do you know it's only 30 pages that talks about you paying taxes? The rest of that manual is government loopholes for wealthy people to protect their money. Now, here's the thing, Johnny. We go to school. We make good grades, but school is designed. Let me go here and see if I can pull up something real quick. All right, and I'm going to start with this. Now that we're talking about money, places to put their money, here's another reason why you want to have a business, a home-based business. For those of you that are not ready for the trust, some people ain't ready to do that monster trust. Let's just get back to reality with most people and just ways that you can protect your money. Instead of doing a simple IRA plan, you need to do a SEP plan, which is a self-employed plan. Now, one of my mentors told me, if the government tells you what you can do with your money, then it's not your money. All right. And when he said that, that stuck with me. If the government can tell you what to do with your money, then it's not your money. But look right here, when it comes to a simple IRA, there are limits that you can put into your retirement plan. Now, Johnny, you just said you up in age. You may need to put more of this money away because we got to catch up, right? $20,000 may not be enough, okay? $14,000 contribution may not be enough. See, a simple IRA plan limits the contribution to $14,000 in 2022. It says it right here, right? Now, if you got a combination of things, you could put up to $20,000. right? But now watch this. If you are a business owner, you can do a SEP. Now, here's what I want you to see about the SEP right here. You can put up to 25% of your net earnings. Let me stretch this on out here a little bit more. 25% of your net earning from self-employment. Okay, that's huge. Up to $61,000. Now, again, if you take $61,000 out of whatever you make, now let's go back and recap. Let's go back to recap Jason. He took $30-something thousand in deduction. He had $13,000 in credit. If he had some more money left over, he can put up to 25% of all the money that he earned. So he could have stashed another $28,000 away in a plan that's tax deferred. Okay, but you can only do that with a business. Okay, that's this again, people. We're not trying to get you into anything. We're trying to get you out of something. We're trying to get you out of throwing money away. That's what we're trying to stop you from doing. So that's something that's on the IRS. So if I'm gonna put this back up, so you guys that are taking notes, I want you to research this SEP plan, SEP plan. Okay, this is huge. 25% of your income you can stash away when the regular IRA limits you to a whole lot less. So that's the difference. Again, this don't say you got to recruit anybody. This don't say you got to chase anybody. This don't have nothing to do with nobody but you. Okay, let me show you some other things, guys. Let's look at this. Let's see if I can bring this up. Paycheck checkup. Okay, let me go back. There's an article on here that I had. Let's see. I hope they still got it up. Okay. Man, I forgot which one it is.
We're looking for Charles.
I'm gonna try this one. I wanted to show the paycheck checkup to where they was telling people.
I got two versions.
Which one you got? All right, I'm gonna let you see your screen.
Okay, hold on a second.
You got which one?
I got the 2018 and the 2005.
Pull up 2018.
All right.
As y'all can see, they got a bunch of updates, but I forgot what update it was. I got it written down, but it's not in front of me right now. But I think if I'd have picked any update, it'll tell you need to take your money. Okay. So why Jason is pulling that up to show you from the IRS? The IRS will tell you that you need to keep more of your money for yourself because the government is using your money and investing it. Okay, there you go. August 13, 2018. Okay, Jason, go ahead on and handle this one then.
All right, so what it's saying here is that the IRS tells taxpayers who got a big refund to do a paycheck checkup. So if you're getting huge, massive refunds, not rebates, and Charles broke that down earlier, then you need to reevaluate your Form W-4. This is what our IRS enrolled agents do. But here's the stats. The stats tell us that after filing return, and this is the IRS telling us, this is not the first time, and it won't be the last time. This is the IRS telling us. They're not the boogeyman. They're actually telling us what to do to get ahead. It says taxpayers who received a large tax refund this past year should think about the taxes again, and the sooner the better. They want you to pay attention, and by doing so, you go back and look at their Form W-4. See, most taxpayers in 2018 receiving refunds on average of around $2,800. But they say taxpayers who receive large refunds could receive more of their money throughout the rest of this year rather than waiting until they file their next tax return. They're telling you to do the W-4 adjustment if you're making too much money or if you're receiving too large of a refund at the end of the year.
Now,
What?
here's my point, and I'm going to go back to what Johnny said before. Who's doing your taxes? So now if the IRS is telling you to do a paycheck checkup, whoever doing your taxes, why they not telling you that? See, you got to question the source of who's doing your taxes. Now, that's off of the IRS.gov website. If the IRS is telling you, instead of getting a refund, do a paycheck checkup, put more money back in your pocket because it benefits you in your pocket versus theirs, why isn't your tax preparer telling you the same thing? All right, I want you to think about that. Okay, now the
Charles, you
IRS
want
is
to see the 2005?
hey, go for it, Jason. Why not? Go for it.
All right, let's see. Let me share my screen.
We're gonna educate the people. Educate the people today.
All right, so here the 2005 is basically saying similar things. So like the IRS, like I said earlier, the IRS is always telling us something to do. Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
All right, so this was updated in 2005, and it says the same thing, but in different words. It says it gives you stats. So during this year, there was over $215 billion in refunds. That's money that was overpaid to the government, right? They used that money and they went and made more money with it. So think how much money you can make off of $215 billion invested into some profitable markets. And then more than 101 million taxpayers got refunds. That's 80% of Americans. 80% are overpaying the government. And the average refund for this year was $2,126 per person back in 2005. But here's the real good part. Where does your refund come from? When people say they want to wait till the end of the year, it comes from your wallet or purse when you tell your employer how much to withhold from your paycheck, or you make an estimate tax payment. For the average refund, most people, that's $40 a week too much that they give the government. And most of us, get told, I talk to a lot of people, they use the withholdings as a forced savings method, but Uncle Sam does not pay interest on refunds. Putting the money in any type of savings account or the accounts that we have, like a DCA or PRA, or paying down debts might be a better option. But not everybody gets a refund. Some even face a penalty for not paying taxes because they don't file accordingly. That's the IRS, Carlos.
Now that's the IRS saying it. Now, Jason, I want you to put back up and read that statement from 2018 because this is printed on every W-4. That statement that I saw on the left. That statement is printed on every W-4. So if you don't believe us, go back and look at your own W-4. It's telling you this exact same thing, just in a different format. It went down again, Jason.
Okay, I'm pulling it up. 2018.
No, the same slide you had.
Oh.
Yeah, pull up the same one you had. Because you had 2019. Okay. Yeah, blow that up. Because if you look at your W-4, it tells you the purpose of the form. Put it in presentation mode for me.
Oh, y'all can't see that?
There you go. The purpose, complete form W-4 so that your employer can withhold the correct keyword federal income tax from your pay. Consider completing a new form W-4 each year and when your personal or financial situation change. Okay, Jason, you can take it down. So, good people, what we're trying to tell you is the IRS is not the boogeyman. They telling you what to do. The problem is when you get the W-4, you don't even read the instructions because it tells you exactly what to do. Look at your W-4 each year and when your personal financial situation change. Reason why you got to look at it each year, because each year the standard deductions go up. Each year the margin change. And trust me, guys, I'm not beating nobody up because I did 24 years in the Army. I filled out my W-4 when I was 18, and it stayed at single zero till I did 24 completed years, single zero. Now, I did that because I didn't know any better. I didn't read the form. I asked my mother how to do it. And my mother, bless her heart, thought she gave me some great advice. Baby, put down single zero. Why? So you don't owe the government and you get a refund. At 18 years old, that sounded like the perfect advice. I don't owe nobody and I'm going to get some money back later. Single zero it is. And it was single zero for 24 years. Come to find out, I lost tens of thousands of dollars with poor advice. So I'm going to say this, no shade on my mother, but you should not be taking financial advice from broke people. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Do not take financial advice from broke people. It wasn't her fault. She didn't know no better. I ain't know no better. Guess what? I was telling my kids to do the same thing until I learned better. See, when you know better, you do better. That's the saying. All right. I'm going to get you guys out of here, but I got to show you how you're losing your money because we need to stop losing money. So I'm going to just show you a couple of quick things real quick and we out of here. But I want everybody to go to the irs.gov website. And I want you to trust this website. It's a government website. It's a .gov, not a .mil. But I'm going to show you a couple of things. For those of you who have kids, all right, I want you to write down the number 15. If you have a child, I need you to write down a number 15 because this is a huge tax deduction. I'm not talking about child tax credit. I'm talking about you having a business. This is all about you partnering with us and have a business. If you have a business, you can hire your kids, okay? Family employees, page 13, Circular E. This is a publication, IRS, write it down, 15, right? I'm going to blow it up so you guys can see it. I'm going to read it for you. Child employed by parents. Payments for the service of a child under age 18 who works for their parent in a trade or business aren't subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes if the trade or business is a sole proprietorship. I told you about that. Or a partnership in which each partner is a parent of the child. These payments are for work other than in a trade or business, such as domestic work in a parent's private home. They are not subject to Social Security and Medicare taxes. Now, I read all that just to say this. Every child under the age of 18 got to have a parent to be a custodian of a bank account. What does that mean? The parent is in charge of the bank account. It belongs to the child, but the parent is in control. Own nothing, control everything, right? So every dollar that you spend on your child can be tax deductible if you do it in the right manner. So instead of giving your child an allowance to go do this and do that, pay your child a salary. Every dollar you get that child is now a taxable write-off. You can write down your taxable income to the tune of a single filing their taxes, like filing single. And I believe this year is 13,500. So you can put, Jason, look that up for me. Standard deduction for a single person filing their taxes. I believe it's like $13,500, $13,800. You can take that off your taxes. So we spend a lot of money on our kids. They buy clothes. We got birthdays, we got Christmas, graduations, proms. They do youth level sports, cheerleading camp, all kinds of stuff. Now watch this. Watch this. For those of you who have children, all right, don't get mad at the messenger. I'm just telling you, I was once like you too. There are many different ways you can pay your child. Somebody let me know if they can see my screen. Give me a thumbs up. Dr. Regina, I can see you. Give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. I'm trying to share. You can see it? It's black?
Yeah.
Now I can see it.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I want you to see it, all right? There are other ways you can pay your child. Now watch this. Wages and other compensation. Wages subject to federal employment taxes generally includes all pay you give to an employee, i.e. your child, for services performed. The pay may be in cash or other forms. It includes salary, vacations, allowances, bonuses, commissions, and taxable fringe benefit. It doesn't matter how you measure or make the payment, okay? The IRS is pretty much telling you anything that you do with your child, you can take that money and take it off of your taxes. It's all about deductions. But what do you need? Put it in the chat, a home-based business. You got, hey, none of this will work if you don't have a home-based business, okay? Now, let me show you something else. I'm going to get off of that. I hope you guys are taking notes. Recap. If you was taking notes, that was the IRS, publication 15, hire your kids. Now, all you gotta do, if you taking down these publications, you just need to put them in the search box. 463 is the next number I want you to write. 463. All right. I'm just going to show you a couple of things because these are things that you're doing on a normal basis. This publication covers travel expenses, entertainment, and gifts. Okay. Ms. Ruby, give me thumbs up if you can see my screen. If you can see it, give me thumbs up. Okay, so she can see it. All right. Check it out, people. Check it out. All right. Money you're going to spend anyway. Well, let's eat. Jason say he like to eat. And boy, do he like to eat. Y'all saw on Jason's Schedule C, he wrote off $7,000 in just meals. You saw it. He showed it to you. But look what the IRS says. Boom, I'm just going to start right here. Normally, you could do 50%. However, you can deduct 100% of your meal expenses if the meal or food and beverage provided by a restaurant and paid or accrued after December 31st, 2020 and before January 1st, 2023. Okay. Now, I don't know if they extended this or not. I have to look up, find me a new manual, but this is what the IRS got on their website right now. I'm pretty sure that there's an update and I got to look for the update and I will. But if it's not 100% anymore, 50% is still a lot of money. All right. That's still a lot of money. Jason wrote off $7,000. Okay. That's all I'm saying. Let me come down here and let's do some traveling. I like to take cruises. Look what the government says. I'm gonna blow it up. Me and my family take cruises. If you the trustee, you owe yourself 3 cruises a year, right? You can deduct up to $2,000 per year of your expenses in attending conventions, seminars, or similar meetings held on cruise ships. All ships that sail are considered cruise ship. Yes, the gambling, the casino ship, that's a cruise ship. Down in Savannah, we got the riverboat, the restaurant on the boat, that's a cruise ship. All ship that sail is considered to be a cruise ship. Okay, so now we was gonna take the cruise anyway, family. We was gonna do it anyway. Might as well let the government pay for it. It said $2,000 per year. Even better than that. Watch this. Now. Let me pull this back up. All right, you got to see this, and I promise you, I'm gonna let you go. I hope this is worth the time you staying. But let me come over here and read what the IRS says. If you travel by ocean liner, hold on, let me make sure y'all can see this. Miss Ruby, is it up?
No, it's black.
Okay, the devil's a lie. You got to see it.
Now it's up.
Okay. If you travel by ocean liner, cruise ship, or other form of luxury water transportation for business purposes, there is a daily limit on the amount you can deduct. Daily limit on the amount you can deduct. The limit is two times the highest federal per diem rate allowable at the time of your travel. So let's look at some dates, people. My wife got a birthday in September. We got a cruise scheduled in September. The per diem is $433. The highest level, twice, double the highest level, $866 per day we can write off. $866 per day, up to how much? $2,000 per year. Come on, people. We're going to take this birthday cruise anyway. Might as well let the government pay for it, right? Okay, let me scroll down a little bit more. This is my favorite manual right here because this is something we all do. And I'm just going to leave this up because it seems like it takes a long time for it to come up once I leave. Look at this, people. Look at this. This is a diagram. I'm going to shrink this diagram so you can see it. And if you can't see it, I'm going to read it to you. The IRS says, if you have a home and you go to a job, you can never deduct your travel from your house to your job. But if you have a home and you go to a temporary work location and then go to your job, you can take the deductions for the complete travel. Now that I read that, let me blow this up because that don't apply to us, MWR. It doesn't apply for us. Now, MWR Associate, it says most employees and self-employed persons can use this chart. Don't use this chart if your home is your principal place of business. We have a home-based business, so the principal place of business is in the home. I'm in the home right now. Y'all all in your home. Guess what we're doing right now? Business. So let's look at office in the home. So office in the home says, let me blow it up. Office in the home says, if you have an office in your home that qualifies as a principal place of business, you can deduct your daily transportation costs between your home and another work location in the same trade or business. What is our business? People. People is our business. People is on the job. People at Walmart. People at grandma's house. There's people everywhere. So everywhere we go, there's people. We in our trade of business. So we in the people business. I hope somebody understood that. Okay. So if you going to work every day, might as well get paid to go, up to 62.5 cents a mile. You might as well get paid to go. Okay. All right. Give y'all a hint, man. I go to the gym every day and play pickleball. Do you know that I normally wear some type of shirt, some type of apparel while I'm playing pickleball, trying to pique somebody's interest? I am working amongst the people. Do y'all know that I write off my travel to the pickleball court? And I also write off my YMCA gym membership. Yeah, because I can write my membership off. It's ordinary and necessary to my business because I can't be all on the Zoom all swollen and stuff, 300 pounds. I gotta look good. I gotta keep my weight down, right? It's necessary. Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there because we've been on here for quite some time. Any questions? The whole purpose of this Zoom is for you to invite your guests and let them know why they need to partner with us so they can get their own money back in their pocket. And if you are a new associate, this is why you got to stick and stay. Because whether you put one person in the business, you can make a whole lot of money. and save a whole lot of money. So I'm gonna end it right there, guys, because I could talk about this all day, but I'm gonna let you go. I ain't gonna hold you hostage. But are there any questions pertaining to anything that we've gone over today? Okay, Sharif, I see your hand raised. Come off mute. Talk to me.
Hey, I just had a question. So is there a way, I don't know if you can put it to where you can like actually write off child support, or are you paying for your kids outside?
Unfortunately, not. But now, did you hear the workaround about hiring the kid?
Yes.
Did you hear the workaround about every dollar you put into that kid account is tax deductible?
Yeah, I think the question is, do he have to set up like a bank account, or how do you go about?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that was the question. Okay.
So the answer to the question is no. But the workaround is, hey, I'm going to have a discussion with the mother, and I'm going to set up this account in the kid's name, and I'm going to put a direct deposit of this amount into that child's account every month. There's a paper trail. It's for the child. And I'm going to give this child some duties and responsibility that's related to my business. I need this child to make some calls for me. I need this child to shred some papers. I need this child to wash the company car. I need this child to manage my Facebook. I need this child to do my Instagram. I need this child to take some photos. We're going to get this child a job and give this child some descriptions. And we're going to pay this child in equivalent to the amount of the child support as a payment. And it's going to go directly to that child. Now, who's the custodian of that account? The parent, i.e. the mother. So who has access to the money? The mother. Got the bank card, do whatever they want to do with it. Okay? Workaround.
Charles, can I add something to that?
Yes, sir.
So when you're talking workaround, it's all about tools and stuff too. So I was thinking that, there's an app called Greenlight, which is a card banking type situation where you can get your kid a card or whatever, and the parents control it. The mom can control it, the dad can control it, where you can just add money to that card. But you're talking about tracking everything that you give and stuff like that. That's a good workaround. Just FYI, I'm just letting you know there's a app called Greenlight that you can do that with your kids and stuff and set them up with that, and it can connect to your account, but you got that paper trail. So if you're making that payment through there, the mom is going to control it, whatever, but that kid has a debit card and she can release it whenever she wants to, but the money is there. So workaround.
The money is there. Now, when we say workaround, guys, we ain't trying to fraud the government or nothing like that. Mm-hmm. It's just what you call whatever you're doing. And here's a good example. Some people have a cell phone bill, but those of us in MWR has a cell phone expense. See, it's the same money, but one is a bill and one is an expense. The government don't pay you for your bills, but they'll reimburse you for your expenses. See, some people have a car note. Other people have a car expense. Like I call my car my mobile office. It's a difference. You see what I'm saying? It's what you call it. So some people call it child support. Some people call it hiring your kids. So it's how it's perceived when you explain this to the IRS. Okay. But our enrolled agent that I was talking to you about, see, she could put that in IRS legal terms and tell you what to call it. Yes. That's a good question. Good question. Gonna help a lot of fathers out there. All right. Any other questions? Please, guys, don't be shy. Any other questions? Because this is your money. This is the money game. And I want you guys to understand the money that you're throwing away by not having this business. We ain't even talking about the benefits of how much money you can make in the business. I'm just trying to stop you from throwing away money. Okay. So if anybody came late, okay. Yes, ma'am.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Charles, you did an excellent, superb job. You and Jason, very enlightening. Also, another thing, you want to basically keep a journal of all your expenses when you go traveling, because sometimes you forget, especially when we go out to dinner. Like we went out to dinner one day and we all took a copy of the receipt. We made just one big bill and just put it on there so you know that it is a business expense and not just you and your spouse or whatever, just having dinner. At least if they say you had a business dinner opposed to you and your spouse just having dinner together. So that's another good thing. And even the clothes that you buy on your business trip is a business expense. So you write that down as well. In your journal, you date it and you properly put it down where the store you bought it from and the date, because the IRS look at that as proper documentation.
Absolutely. And I remember, hey, I got one of them receipts too. It's like $500 on that bill, right? All right. Good point. Thank you, doctor. And with that said too, let me share this with you. As a business owner, go to your department stores and get you a tax exempt card. Okay. I don't have mine with me. It's downstairs. But I have a Walmart tax exempt card because my wife spent a lot of money over there. Just go to the customer service, ask them for a tax exempt card, check off retail. Now things that you're buying at Walmart, and I like Walmart because it's like the king of capitalism. You know, you can get your meds there, you get your tire changed, you can take photos, you can get your nails done, you can get your hair done. You can buy groceries, you can buy clothes, you can get you a snack. You can do just about everything in Walmart, right? But here's the thing. As long as it's for a trade or business, if you have that card, when you go to the checkout, you hand the cashier the card prior to them ringing your stuff up. Everything that you ring up now will not have any taxes on it, all right? It will not have any taxes on it. So now you're making tax-free groceries. Okay. Now I'm gonna tell you how the Ivory family, we go shopping in Walmart. We have our tax deductible basket, and then we have our other baskets. Items that are ordinary and necessary for your business. Let's say we're doing a profit party. You know, I got chips, I got sodas, I got coffee, I got sugar, I got cream. I may have hot dogs, buns, anything that's refreshment type food goes in one basket. All that's tax deductible. Now, on special occasions, when I throw my profit party and I do the chicken wings and the crab legs and the seafood boil, but I'm gonna have a roster and everything. You gonna have a sign-in roster for this food right here. We gonna put that in another basket, okay? So, but again, peanut oil is expensive, so we got to make that tax deductible, right? Okay, so I'm just giving you a little game, just giving y'all some game. Taxes is your largest expense. There are ways you can minimize your taxes, okay? So I'm just showing you how Jason took $70,000 down to 21. I'm showing you how I took 120,000 down to 56. Y'all saw it. I mean, we posted it for you. Now we're giving you the game on how we did it. Now, don't forget about the ultimate game with the three-legged trust, because now we had zero taxes, no taxes at all. But if you're not ready for that game, at least play the other one. Okay? All right. Any more questions from anybody?
Another thing too, with Staples, when you go to Staples, Office Max, Depot, where you go get your printing materials and supplies for your profit parties, the paper that you're going to have them signing on, that's also a tax exempt as well, because I used to kill it every time I had to do something for the church. Every time I had to do something for my business, it pays off, because now you can get over $300 worth of stuff and wind up paying maybe $15. I've done that.
Amen. Somebody. The game is endless. The game is endless. So I hope y'all found value in this Zoom. Again.
Sorry, Charles. Hey, I got a quick question.
Okay.
Referring to trust. So, is there a minimum amount for the trust or putting in for the trust?
A minimum amount? No. Your trust is your money.
Talking about to get started.
Yes.
Oh, to get started with the trust. Okay. Well, we have two types of trust that MWR do. We have what we call an asset trust, which is just protecting your assets. That's $2,500. Okay. That three-legged monster that I was talking about with zero tax for the rest of your life, we're doing it at a discount price of $12,000 to get that done. Now, some people may say, hey, $12,000 a lot of money, but you're looking at a guy that was making so much money, I couldn't write everything off, and then start building a house, and I had to report all my income. I couldn't take the deductions. I end up owing the government $22,000. Well, now I ain't got to worry about deductions anymore. I just let the business take the money, shift the money, spend the money, and then have a foundation hold the money and get an IRS nothing. So it is well worth it. But I think everybody should have one. Everybody might not be in a position to get one. But if you're in MWR Financial, guess what we do? We help you increase your cash flow. We also have a great way to create some cash flow and let the business pay for your trust. Okay. And if you're interested in the business, hey, get with the person that invited you to the Zoom, get our presentation. We can show you how we can increase, create, and multiply your cash flow for you to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do. Okay. We didn't really talk about MWR, the business. We really just talked about putting yourself in position to keep more of your money and using the government tax laws to your advantage. Okay, that's what this Zoom was about. And for those of you that recently joined or been in MWR for a while, I want to give you a reason to stay, because I have too many people quitting, and they quit before they even do the Schedule C. So they quit before they even get the benefits of what the Schedule C has to offer. So this is a stick and stay and why you should partner with us type of Zoom. Any other information or questions? I'm excited, man. I hope you guys are too.
I got a question.
Okay. What's your name? Where you at?
It's Baker.
Baker. Okay, what's up, Mr. Baker?
What's up, dude? You all right?
Man, better than amazing.
I hear that. When you get that three-headed monster, you have to have a certain amount of cash flow to get that three-headed monster.
Now they recommend you have at least earned income of 70,000 or more.
Okay, yeah.
And here's the reason why. Because if you're making less than that, you probably not paying a lot of taxes, and just having a business, you can eliminate all your taxable income.
Right.
You know, so and I'm gonna go back to Jason. Jason put himself in position that he pays $0 in taxes, zero, off of the income that he made. And you saw that he had made $70-something thousand.
Right.
So he was able to get zero in tax dollars owed, and still got $9,000 on a tax rebate.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is played for the people that's making over $70,000, $80,000, $100,000 that's normally owing taxes and can't write off all that money. You know, and that's why I say, if you may not be ready for the three-legged monster yet, but you can definitely get the asset trust, because if you have any type of assets, we got a lot of people that own property, you know, that's $2,500 to get, and it's protected, it's bulletproof. Can't nobody sue you for the money. Can't nobody, You know, there's all kind of ways it won't end up in probate. You can go through a divorce and not lose your assets, you know, so it's still bulletproof you. So more you may need the asset trust versus the complex trust. But if you're in MWR, trust me, you're going to get to the stage where you're making 6 figures and you're going to need that asset trust. I mean, that complex trust, you're going to need it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that complex next year. I'm gonna get that next year.
That's what I'm talking about. Speaking into existence, I believe 2 or 3 gathered in his name.
That's right.
It's gonna be so. Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah. I got a quick question for you. Like the assets, you know, I think most of us may have we may think that we have certain assets, and like I want to know for sure what defines an asset. And so I'm wondering, is there something that we are working on or something we have that would actually help us to better define what we think are assets that we may have around here?
Okay, well, asset is anything that makes you money.
Right.
You know, so if you got a house, it makes you money. There's equity in it. Or anything that increases in value. You know, you may have a old car or something that's an asset. A savings account or investment accounts, those are assets. You know, anything that appreciate in value, makes you money, those type of things are assets.
Good. I think we need to define that term assets a little bit more often when we're talking about it. Because it really does it gets us thinking about what do we have. Because when you just said it a few minutes ago, just now, I really just begin to itemize some of the things that I think are assets, and now I know which ones are, which ones aren't. So thank you for that.
Yeah, anything that you want to protect is considered an asset. You know, but the definition, anything that increases in value or make you money, is considered an asset that you want to protect. You know, anything you want to keep out of probate. Okay, I'll put it that way. Anything you want to keep out of probate court, anything you don't want nobody to sue you for, anything you don't want to lose in a divorce, put it in an asset trust.
That'll work.
All right, great question. All right, I'm here, guys. Fire it away. I'll spend the night with you if you want.
We got to do this again. This was good.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Man, it's good, man. Y'all stayed with me the whole time. That's good. All right. Well,
I got one question, Charles.
Come on with it.
Oh, I see it was recorded. Are we gonna get a replay of this so I can look at it over again?
Absolutely. We may have to do some editing because I think Jason started the recording and then it stopped and then I picked it up. So it may be on 2 different Zooms, but I'm gonna get with Mr. Thomas, my co-host, and we're gonna see if the whole thing is on one recording or if I gotta get his half and get my half and then I'm gonna chop it up. Y'all want the questions in the Zoom? Y'all want the whole complete Zoom, raw footage? Okay, we'll put the raw footage. That's easier for me. I ain't gotta do no editing. We just throw it out there. Yeah, but I will make this available. And I'm willing to do this again, guys. And I'm gonna tell you why I did this. I did this for several reasons. One, because I want us to start recruiting some red people. And reds are people that normally owe taxes, have access, have assets, and we got to show them value in what MWR has. You know, some of your reds may not be interested in the credit repair. They may not be interested in getting a Verizon bill reduced. Some of them think they're investing, but not truly investing. You know, so we got to bring value to them. Okay, and then the other thing is, I want to shut the back door on the quitters that are sneaking out the back door, because if you join MWR Financial and you understand what this company is doing, you would never ever quit, because all it does is make you money from the time go. The moment you join this company, you are in a positive cash flow situation. Okay. Some of us are going to get it every week. Some of us are going to get it every month. Some of us may have to wait to the end of the year and see it on our tax return as a tax rebate. Or some of us may see it down the road in one of those investments that we make, you know, because we done bought some land and it's 2028 and Walmart knocking on your door to try to give you a cash out. You know, regardless of what your situation is, you can't lose. It's impossible to lose with MWR Financial. It changed my life. And I want you to know, if you're an associate, you can't lose. So don't go nowhere. Stick and stay. Stick and stay. Let's keep building, guys. I'm proud of you. I love you. Team Legacy, man. I can't say enough about what you guys are doing. It's just an honor to serve you guys. I want you to know that if you haven't heard it from me, it's an honor to serve you guys. And I'm here for you day and night, night or day. Don't hesitate to call, please. All right. And let's build. All right.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Good night.